Charming and charismatic, the great communicator captivated America and gave the nation a strong leader in a time of serious crisis. Using both humor and humility, Ronald Reagan was able to unify the public in the face of a common enemy, the Soviet Union. Reagan's ability to effectively communicate with the people and inspire optimism made him one of America's strongest leaders. Coming into office at the beginning of the 1980s, Ronald Reagan stood facing a slew of domestic and foreign issues. Our economy was stagnant, our armed forces had dangerously deteriorated, and the Cold War tensions were elevating rapidly. Starting in 1979, the Cold War experienced a period of intensive reawakening. Soviet troops invaded Afghanistan, protests spread throughout Poland, and Central American Contras were fighting to overthrow the Soviet-aligned government in Nicaragua. President Reagan recognized the unstable global atmosphere and sought to strengthen the nation and bring solidarity back to America. Reagan promised to revitalize the economy and rebuild the military's capability in order to restore America's position as a world leader. Reagan engaged the mighty Soviets on the basis of morality, strategically dubbing them the evil empire. Reagan skillfully turned the Soviet Union into a villainous force plaguing Europe, and America into a righteous crusader fighting to restore virtue and liberty. The rhetoric of our 40th president was his most effective tool. Ronald Reagan gave America an image of themselves as a shining city upon a hill, demanding liberty and emanating optimism. Against this image, Reagan pitted the evil empire, and the Cold War became a clash of values. Reagan presented the public with a clear and determined goal: eliminate communism. He was once quoted saying, "My idea of American policy towards the Soviet Union is simple, and some would say simplistic. It is this: we win, and they lose." There was no question of America's capability. This war was no longer America versus the Soviet Union. Ronald Reagan made this war a war of good and evil. America was fighting for democracy.
Let us be shy no longer, for the task I've set forth will long outlive our own generation. But together, we too have come through the worst. Let us now begin a major effort to secure the best, a crusade for freedom that will engage the faith and fortitude of the next generation. For the sake of peace and justice, let us move toward a world in which all people are at last free to determine their own destiny.
Ronald Reagan rejected disarmament and reignited the arms race by increasing production of new weapons and anti-weapon systems. Reagan introduced the Strategic Defense Initiative, which was an anti-ballistics missile system that was created to blast enemy missiles while they were still in flight. This stockpiling of weapons brought pressing economic troubles to the Soviets and weakened them significantly. During Reagan's presidency, the USSR failed to add a single square kilometer to their evil empire, and under the Reagan Doctrine, the USA asserted the right to aid any nation struggling against communist forces. Finally, in 1987, during the third of 5 summit meetings, Reagan achieved the success he sought. The U.S. and the Soviet Union signed the INF Treaty, agreeing to eliminate all intermediate-range and shorter-range missiles. Reforms swept the USSR, and the tensions of the Cold War subsided, with Ronald Reagan and America standing as the victors. The shining city had triumphed over the evil empire. Most notable, throughout his speeches, the American people could feel Ronald Reagan's passion. He really did believe in the strength and virtue of America. Ronald Reagan never lost his determination, but more importantly, he never lost his optimism. Reagan never doubted that America would triumph, and so America never doubted that they would triumph. The great communicator had brought us safely through crisis and proved his ability to stimulate and unify the nation with his words in the process. In 1989, Ronald Reagan left office with one final message.
My friends, we did it. We weren't just marking time. We made a difference. We made the city stronger. We made the city freer, and we left her in good hands. All in all, not bad. Not bad at all. And so, goodbye. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.